I am alive at the right place now. I had a bit of a problem connecting. I have got huge news to tell you today. Um, very, very big news. Um, but I'll let you all come in. Some of you might already know it because I couldn't keep myself and have posted a picture already. Um, so I don't know what happened with the internet. It just like wouldn't connect to the live, so I had to kind of like restart the whole computer and then restart the program. But I'm here now, so I have done it. I've been talking about it for months and months and months and months, and this weekend I decided and I went and got a puppy. You might hear her in the background. It's a her. I haven't got a name for her yet. Some of you quite suggested some really nice names, so I made a list. And when the kids are back from the holiday, then we can name her, not them. It's only one. Name her together. I really don't know. Like there is, I think when you look at a puppy, like a name comes to mind, and there is just nothing coming to mind yet. So I think I'll have to present the list to the children and let them decide. They had a FaceTime and they've seen it and seen her, and they've been coming up with names. But it's huge. It's really huge. All my life, I always wanted a dog, and never had one. So this is the first time. So I need you, every single one of you who are dog owners, to give me some hints and tricks and tips how to sort of train her, how to keep her. I've been reading up online, I've been watching YouTube videos and sort of educating myself on her. She's so gorgeous. I'll show you at the end. I would show you now, but if I get her out of her crate now, it will be really hard to settle her back in. And I don't really want her to sort of roam around the room and sort of start messing about until I'm alive, because then I won't be able to concentrate on the lovely Nib-Bits we're going to be playing today. I have got quite a few ideas for this one, but I'm wondering, and I'm going to turn you down on the mat, and I'm wondering what your ideas with Nib-Bits. Have you done anything in the past? If you have, please send a picture and I can show it to everybody if you can dig it out. So Nib-Bits are this little, I call them little cheese wedges, beads. They're really nice to work with. They got 2 holes on them. So if I turn it, you can see both of the holes. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And then we can bind them together in all sorts of different patterns. I had made elastic bracelets with this one. I have used it. I should have grabbed it out of the cupboard. I might do that in a minute. But just to show you, but there is so many different designs. You could do some simpler, some more sort of intricate ones. Because they are such a nice little shape, you can put them in circles, you can put them in waves, you can put them in all sorts of different shapes, and they really do look good together. So, good evening, Edward. Michelle is here. Good evening, lovely. Nice to see you here. Michelle is saying, I bet the kids are excited to see the puppy. Absolutely. I think they are. They will be. Everybody loves a puppy. So, we need to name her. We need a really good name for her. She's a golden doodle, so she's a cross between a golden retriever and a poodle. So she's gonna be more like a large, medium-sized dog. And I'm having a ball with her. I picked her up on Monday. And all she wants is just cuddles, and she's just by her side, and she's she's got such a good temperament to her, like really, really laid back. But let's get beading. I'm gonna grab the samples of those bracelets I've done with these beads before, so I can show it to you, and then we can chat about puppies. I'm so excited. So do let me know in the chat, what have you been up to this week? What you've been doing? What you've been making? Right, Nib-Bit bracelet, and I'm gonna, if I can grab, I did a necklace with this as well, not just a bracelet, which looked really good. Again, like I stayed with the circles with that one. I organized all my drawers here, and when you really need to find something quickly, I got it. like you can never really find one. And then if I reorganize it, probably like I won't be able to find again. So we did this bracelet quite some time ago, and I quite like the waves, and it's on flat elastic, very easy one to make. However, tonight I would like to use needle and thread to stitch them together to do a different pattern. I quite fancy like a wavy pattern, up and down, very easy one to make. We can have a little play with that one. I did this one as well, which is this, using the candy beads from Preciosa, and again, very easy pattern. Let me just grab these out. Again, using them with the waves, like it was kind of like sort of matching the bracelet, so you can have like a nice set together, although I have put the nib bits together there. So what shall we do? Shall we do like a circular pattern, or shall we do a wavy pattern? Let me know in the chat what shall we start off with. And then, of course, we can play with all sorts of different patterns. Good evening, Lorraine. Nice to see you. Good evening, Barbara. My week was really good. The kids are away. I got a new puppy. Well, can't say puppy very loud because I think she thinks she's called Puppy at the moment. She's gorgeous. She's right here down next to me. She's in her little crate, so I will get her out at the end. I would get her out now, but if I get her out now, I won't settle her again. And then she just sort of wanna come and cuddle. Puppy, how exciting! Very exciting. Love. She's such a nice temperament. Right. Okay. So what color? And I'm gonna start. And are we gonna do a wavy pattern, or are we gonna do a? We could do circles. We could do all sorts of different things with it. I think if we did a wavy pattern, somewhat like, maybe even if we put one seed bead in between, size 11 probably. Let me just grab a needle so I can push them on the mat, and you can't see them because they're right. I'm right in front of it. There we go. So we could have a wavy pattern. We would need, I reckon, about 4, and then turn it the other way, and then we would go this way, and I think we could add a nice little pearl in the middle, perhaps, or maybe 5, and then turn. So we've got a nice sort of cupping motion there. I would have to play with it sort of to see how many do we really need. You only know that once you start to get going and you sort of string it on some thread, but I think that would look really nice if we put them, because they got 2 holes on them, so we can bind them together, 1 2 3 4 5, and then we would be turning around. This will probably, like, once we add it on, so shall we just go ahead and add it on the strand like that, and then we can add, we could even have the 5 together, and then just add a seed bead there, because we're gonna need something. We're gonna need a seed bead in here for the, so we could have 5 together and a seed bead there, because we're gonna want to, we need something to link the pearl in it. Need something, what we're gonna, and again, then we would have sort of a seed bead there and do the next 5. What do we think? Do let me know in the chat if you fancy a wave pattern with them, or what shall we do? What shall we do tonight with them? There's so many different things you could do with these beads. They just, all these 2-hole beads, I just love them. Good evening, Alison. Nice to see you here. Alison saying, good evening, Kitti and everyone. My puppy dog knowledge could probably be written on the Nib-Bit beads, so we have no advice. Sorry, looking forward to the make. Ah, oh, bless. But I kind of like making it up as I go along. So far we're so good. We had one accident inside, but apart from that, she's been really good. And I think this beads I just grabbed, I think it's gonna be actually a nice color to go with it. We only had one accident inside, and apart from that, she's been going outside. But I've been taking her outside like every 2 hours religiously. She's going outside, and then when she's not outside, she's either like, I have started to sort of walk around the garden, because obviously she's not allowed, she hasn't had her second vaccinations yet, so started to walk around in the garden. And when she's inside, like, I want to get her into a routine. I really would like to crate train her. And I know a lot of people, some people are like against it, some people sort of towards it. Like, I don't know, like everybody's got different opinion. For me, because obviously I do work from home and I have got people coming and going, for me it would be easier if she was crate trained. So I decided that I'm gonna crate train her. So I'm just gonna pick up 5 of these beauties by, maybe 4 would be enough. I'm going to pick up 5 by the smaller hole, then a seed bead, then another 5 by the small hole. This sort of doing something like this will be really quick, because you pretty much kind of like the first step, you're just stringing them on. I don't know. So far so good. She loves her little crate. So she settles quite quickly now. Like, she settles like within a couple of minutes, which is great. So I don't know, we will see. So we kind of have like a routine going, or trying to get a routine going. Like, it's been 2 nights, but I'm really trying to have her in a routine by the time the kids get back next Monday. So I'm going to turn back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe add 1 more section. So, or 1 or 2 more sections, so we can see really what's going on with the little pattern. Because remember, we're making like little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 too many. We're making a little pattern here, just a little section to see how the beads would go together. So all I'm doing, I'm just picking up 5 by the thinner, like the smaller hole, because I quite like when they are tied together, and then adding a seed bead after every single 5. So I'm going to go back on myself. I'm going to turn and go back in the wider hole, very sort of, and we will see once we go through the wider hole, the thread will bind the pattern together and it's going to start to curve. Maybe 5 is too much, maybe we should have stuck with 4, but we will know in a second how is it all going to look like. How much is it going to curve? And when I get to, no, I didn't do it right, because it's gonna curve all the way. I didn't do it right. I should have picked up 5 by the thinner hole and 5 by the thicker hole. I'm thinking puppy tonight. Let's just get these beads off quickly and start again. Just excited for the puppy. Very quickly, we will pick them up again. Oopsies. Have to stop talking about puppies. Otherwise I won't be able to concentrate on the beading. So I'm going to pick up 5 by the thinner hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the seed bead. Then we're going to pick up 5 by the thicker hole, because we need to turn the direction around, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a seed bead. Then 5 by the thinner hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a seed bead, then 5 by the thicker hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the thinner hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally 5 by the thicker hole again. So we're just making a little section here. My camera is still off. There we go. Put it over a little bit so it's nice in the middle. So the final seed bead here, and actually I'm gonna have to pick up. So that was a thinner, so this one has to be the thicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we would need. Oh, I suppose we could come out of the hole on the Nib-Bit. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go through a thinner hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when I get where the seed bead is, I'm going to add a seed bead in. and then I'm going to the thicker hole on the next section. That's it. So one section we're gonna curl one way and the other section is gonna curl the other way. So that's how we get it to curl. So 5, pick up 5 by the thinner hole, 5 by the thicker hole, seed bead in between. Good. Barbara is saying the crate works well. They will not go put it in their crate. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the whole idea. Like that, there's so many like people swear by it. There's so many people say like you shouldn't do it. Like she goes in the crate. She goes in there. She goes in there for the night, and then we get up in the morning. We come down like 5, 6 a.m. She's been getting up. Then she has her breakfast. Then we go outside and I play with her. And probably like yesterday and today I was hanging out with her until about 7. And then I put her back in her crate. And I'm going to try to stick to this routine, because once we get back, once we sort of, the kids go back to school, then we're going to be getting up with the kids at that time. So she kind of will be sorted out with the family. And then we will drop Lucy off, and so she can come dropping the children off, and then Jewel would come back and she would go into her crate. So it allows me time to get ready for work and sort of start working. And especially if I got a live, I need to get ready for that. And then so from maybe 8 o'clock she would be in there. I don't know, I might have to sort of stretch it different way, depending on how the lives and everything else gonna work out. And then she will come out for a couple of hours, but actually she was out for about 3 hours, just like sitting next to me, laying next to I got her a little bed, just laying in the bed pretty much all afternoon. And then I would put her back in the crate before dinner for so I can sort out dinner and come and go, and then have her out for the most of the evening because we will be with her. So that's kinda the that's what I was thinking to. So she won't be in the crate all day, but she will have a couple of hours, maybe 2-3 hours in the morning, and the same sort of late afternoon, and then obviously in there for the night. I think different sort of, like, they got the little personalities. I quite like this. So what bead are we going to put in the middle here? I think we either need an 8mm pearl or a 10mm pearl. I think would look really good in there. Or if we had less sections, but then uneven sections. So I would like to do 3 or 5, because 4 sections, we could try it with 4 sections as well, but I think that's that will look good. Let me just grab some pearls, what we can add in there. I think they can be stretched a little bit, but sort of stretched or pulled together. So even we could get, if we had 4, I guess we could get away with a 6mm. But let me just grab an 8 and a 10mm, because I think that's going to be sort of a nice, and it will be a nice quick bracelet to make something like this up, and very effective as well. So 8mm, if I get sort of a browny color, no, I think we're going to need a 10mm, don't you think? I think 8mm might be pulling it together a bit too much. If I had 4, maybe 8mm would work. So let me grab a 10mm. That's 12. This is 10. Probably not the best color. 10mm. What sort of color? Oh, I just had some. We had some new 10mm colors in the other day. Green, no. Maybe the gold would be nice. Where did I put the bag? I brought home some new 10mm colors, which we just came in maybe about a month ago. And I think there was a nice, oh no, that's 12mm. That's not going to be good. Just grab the bag and have a look if there is anything. Ooh, yes, there is a really nice green in there, like a nice olivey green. I think that would be quite nice with it. And we have got a nice minky color as well. So either one of those would go nicely. They are new colors. Which the or even something lighter like this. I might like quite a lighter color as well, because sort of it's got like a goldy shine on that color. So I'm not sure. But which one shall I use? Shall I use the ivory, or shall I use the mink, or shall I use the olive color, the olivey green? I think either or would be a good choice. Lauren is saying crates are good. Ours like to stay in them if they are sick or hurt because it's their safe place. Absolutely. I have bought one size up, so she's a size of like a large cat at the moment. So I have bought one size up, but she's not going to be going in there just yet. But it's kind of like when I put her down, I put it next to that crate so she can see it. So she can see like what that will be the next one to go in, because she's going to be, I think I'm going to use this color. It's going to be nice in it. She will be going into that one. She's got such a lovely temperament to her. I really cannot praise her enough. Like I always loved cats, always had cats. This is the kind of like the first time I'm gonna tie this tail end and this together, so I have a nice. Obviously, if it was a bracelet, we would be going in and attaching a clasp, but because we just want a little sample, if I tie it together, that will just keep it there. So if I pick up this bead, obviously we'd have a seed bead here, which would be linking in. And I'm just going to take this down and see how it sits in there. So I think that's, don't know. Let me just go. So what I'm going to do, as I'm coming out of this pearl, I'm just going to go in just a seed bead. Just turn it slightly and pull this up, and then at the same time I'm gonna jump to the next seed beads and come back through it. I probably would run up and down the whole pattern when adding the pearls, just so, like, see, the pearl is attached to that seed beads at this side, and then if I come back on myself, and then I would come from the other side as well. So at the moment, because we went up in this seed bead and come down in this one, it's slightly kind of like dislodged our seed beads. So can you see they're kind of like sitting on a little bit of an angle because we got the extra thread path. So I would probably come through it again. So I'm going to pick up another pearl. So maybe a little bit too big. And then I'm going to come down in the next pearl, and then go the next seed bead with my pearl, and then go up in the next seed bead. So I'm just gonna sort of jump up and down in the seed beads, adding the pearls in. But I got a feeling that this 9mm or 10mm, this might be a little bit too big. I'm gonna shut that window because there's quite a lot of cars going outside. I had the window open pretty much all day, all summer, because we just had like such nice warm weather. Been so lucky with the weather this year, and we have, I think there is a somebody flying a plane as well outside, which I'm not sure if you can hear it in the video, but so I think if I wanted a 10mm, I do need an extra wedge, an extra Nib-Bit, because it's kind of like not going in all the way. I wonder if it did like three of them, would a 6mm be enough to kind of like house the pearl itself? What do we think? Do let me know in the chat. What do we think so far? And then coming down on the next seed bead. Maybe it's a little bit too big. Maybe it's a little bit too big. And to be honest, like, I don't know, the Nib-Bits themselves are quite a nice and flat beads. So if you look at the bracelet or necklace, whatever we're making, because we could make it into a necklace as well if we added larger beads on the outside, or maybe one extra and smaller beads in the inner side, then it would curl into a natural curve. So you could use this technique for bracelet or necklace. But I do think, like, because if I look at it from here, can you see that, like, for me, like, the pearls are just sticking out a bit too much. So maybe we need to find something else. We need to find something more flatter to put on there. If you use something which is a flat bead with one hole, which might look really nice, but then the beads can turn because they're not anchored anywhere else. So I think we need something with two holes. Maybe a check cabochon would go nicely with it. Let me just see that. I'm gonna grab a check cabochon out, and let me just see how would that fit into a little hole, because at least they are the same width, so they don't stand out that much. I mean, it actually doesn't look, it looks quite good when you put it on the wrist. So I think we just need to get the right amount of nib bits. So the nib bits go from center of the hole almost to the other side center of the hole, and I think it's just slightly a little bit too small. So maybe one extra one, or, you know, the seed beads like kind of like line up. What do we think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think so far we should do? So I'm just gonna grab something flatter, checkmate cabochon. Let's grab something which will stand out with that color. Maybe a darker color to go in there, because here we have got two holes, so we could pull the seed bead right, and but I think we have go one less, so we've got a hole here, and we got a hole. I mean, if there's a little bit there, it doesn't really matter. I think it would still look nice. We could use this, or there is the Samos bead as well, actually. Let me just grab one of that out. So Samos bead is from Puka. Again, it's got two holes, but it's more of an oval shape, which might kind of works in our favor to have it in that gap. But we could use all sorts of different beads, but I think it needs something either least flat on one side or flat on both of the sides. So we could use the Samos bead, but I do think if we use the Samos bead, perhaps we just need 4, and then we could come and add the and actually we could work it out. If we start from the beginning with the Samos bead there already, we could perhaps have a certain shape that we could help it a little bit. So use less of these beads and add a seed bead to the outer edge, but don't add a seed bead into the middle, and then it would just sort of cup around more of the shape how we need to cup around it. If we had 5 still, because I kind of like the numbers. So if we had 5, I'm just thinking seed bead, and we could actually turn around. We could turn around in between one of them, because once you add the next unit next to it, you won't gonna see the thread path. So let's just try that. I'm gonna pop these beads to the side, get a few more of these out. And I think that would be, if we could work out a way that we're working with both of the units at the same time, and we're going around the, I wonder if a candy bead work. I haven't got any candy beads here. Probably they would work just as well But all I got is cabochons and Samos beads, which is kind of like flat on one side. The cabochon works well as well. So the cabochons do sort of cup the 5 beads better because they're round, but we could do either shape. I think it would look good. Let me thread another needle, and then we can have a look which one gonna work the best. So we're gonna start around the summers or start around the cabochon and kind of like work our ways in little units from one side to the other side of the bracelet. She's all quiet now, she's asleep. Bless her. She does make all sorts of funny noises, and she was sleeping next to me here earlier, and like, you know, when you have the puppy dream and the little sort of hand was going, or leg, not hand, little leg was going. She was so cute. Right, so if I want, let me just grab these out. So if you want, if you're going to add a seed bead on the outer edge, but we're not going to add a seed bead in the inner edge. So they're going to be more of a circle shape quicker. So we will be able to use less Nib-Bit to, I think, maybe 4. And then we will have a seed bead there. So single seed bead, nothing, and then turn around. Yep. So I'm going to pick up a Samos. Let's try it with the Samos, and then we can try with the cabochon as well. So I'm going to pick up a Samos. I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead. I'm going to pick up 4 of these beautiful Nib-Bits. I'm going to pick up another seed bead, and I'm going to go back into the Samos the same way. So I complete like a circle around it. Maybe too big. Maybe too big. Maybe the Samos, we need to add it to the other hole first. And then so we pull it in a little bit more. So if you go into the top hole on this one, what I want to get that the Samos sits right in there. So I'm going to go back on myself. I'm going to back on myself, and we need to be in the other hole of the Samos. No, actually I can just turn it. Gonna go back on myself. I can just turn it. There we go. So I think that looks kind of like cute. I'm gonna go into the, turn this around. I'm gonna go into the seed bead, and don't knot on me, you thread. I'm gonna go into the seed bead. So I really need to get to this hole here, so I can either pick up a couple of seed beads, and those seed beads are turned, but I think that will be good. So if I pick up a couple of seed beads and then go into the outer hole on that Nib-Bit, so kind of have got 3 seed beads sitting next to each other, and now I'm going to come around the outside and fill a seed bead in between every single Nib-Bit. So I'm creating like a little fan around, and then when I get to here, I'm going to pick up another couple of seed beads and then go back into the seed bead here, but we still haven't been through the other hole on the Nib-Bit. So we still need to, like, it still will flap around. So I'm happy with that pattern. But we need to find the thread path to go through this hole as well. Otherwise, this will flap backwards and forwards. So I think pulling it tighter, could we do with an extra Nib-Bit here? I think we can create a thread path from those 2 at the top. Maybe if we had a seed bead here and here, we could branch down from that seed bead and into the other hole. Now I haven't got that seed bead there, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to weave my thread around to, I'm going to go to, it doesn't really matter at this point like how my thread path is going, because I'm just kind of trying to secure the beads for the pattern. So if we had an extra seed bead in here, then how would that look? if we had that seed bead in there, because then we could come out of that seed bead and go into the hole. So let's just go back around again and see how would that look. So when I'm coming up with patterns and I'm just sort of playing with the beads, I often do this like and add an extra seed bead in, and that's why I don't knot my thread either, because then your thread is quite forgiving. And but then if we had an extra seed bead there, maybe we need a seed bead here as well. So kind of like follow the pattern, fan pattern around it. So I'm gonna restart this. So I have got a better idea now, like where I want my seed beads and where I want my nib bits. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go through my Samos. I'm just leaving the same thread. I usually do this, and I'm gonna pick up 3 seed beads. 1, 2. I'm gonna go on the outer edge first. I'm gonna pick up a wider part of a nib bit, seed bead, wider part of the nib bit, until I have got 4 of those 4 nib bits on my thread. I'm gonna take these down, and then I'm gonna pick up another 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna turn this around and come through the Samos again. And just pull this up nice and tight. And now, because I haven't got the thread there, I can put it down and I can sort of have a look. And I do think we have got room to add a seed bead in there in every single one of them. So I'm just going to go through. I went through the Samos. I'm going to go and come through 1 seed bead and then into the thinner hole on the nib bit. Pull this up. I'm going to pick up a seed bead, go through the next one, pick up another seed bead, go through the next one, pick up another seed bead, go through the next one, and then we are all the way on the other side. What did I do with the thread here? I looped it around. Come around, that's it. Yeah, oh yeah. I think I looped my thread. And then let me just go back. No, that's it. It's just turned. So I think we're good. So if I pull this nice and tight, and then I'm going to go into the last seed bead before the Samos and through the Samos and pull it up, and we see like how the unit is going to look like now. I do think it curls up a little bit. It curls up around it. So we do like it's too much. Either need to add larger beads on the outer side, like size 8 in there, or smaller beads on the inner side. Because if I pull this up, can you see like that curling up? I mean, that could be a really pretty pattern as well, because it could look like a flower. But if I did this, and actually just given me quite a nice little idea, I would want to go all the way around. Like I would probably want to do it on a round shape and have those nib bits sitting on an angle, kind of almost all the way around. I think that would look really cool as well. I like that you're trying multiple center elements. Michelle is saying, I try anything, you know me. Anything I have in my stash. So, but we also need to link into, it's given me another idea. We'll be hopping on to the next idea in a second. So I'm going to go through the nib bit and the first seed bead, and then go to the hole, the other hole on the Samos, and then go back up through this seed bead. So we're going to have to find a better thread path for this if you wanted to, but I do think we could make like little kind of like flowers. The other side, if I want it flat, definitely needs to be a larger seed bead, because can you see like there is room next to it now. So I do think like it could be a pretty pattern, and then the next lot would have to be sitting this way and have another center element inside there. But now I'm getting excited about doing a flower. Or even there. There we go. That's where we want the next element to be. And I would hook in from those 3 seed beads. So let me just get this down. So I need to get my thread path right over coming out of this, and either the first one or the last seed bead, because that's what we're going to connect to, the first or the last one. I don't think it doesn't matter. I'm going to go around. It's not going to sit correctly because I do think we need to adjust the size of the beads, but I do think it will make a really pretty pattern. So I'm just coming down. I'm going to go into this single seed bead, and then I'm going to go straight. I went in from the wrong way. I need to come in on the other side. Of what's this thread doing here? Is this twisted? What did we do? I want to be the other way. I'm just going to go back through it and hoping that I haven't stitched through and that I haven't stitched through the thread. So I need to come kinda from the other side, from here to this way, and then I'm ready to pick up my Nib-Bits. So if that's gonna be the wider holes I'm picking up. So I'm picking up 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm gonna pick up 3 seed beads. I'm gonna go into the Samus bead and I'm just gonna pop it down on my mat just to make sure I'm gonna go through the right hole, because I have to go through the second hole and then come back through the first seed bead here. So I'm pulling this side. Hold on, my tail is pulled out. Once you kind of like have a pattern in your head, you can always, like I do a little bit and then I just sit down, put it down in front of me, and now I got how I want it to look. Now I can go and kind of like design a better thread path for it. So I think that's gonna look quite cute. So I'm gonna go ahead, go into this Nib-Bit, come through this one, then the next one, and the next one, picking up a seed bead, 1 single seed bead as I go along. But I still need to go around again because I need to hook into that hole. So I'm gonna go into those, go through there. There is something here, but I'm definitely gonna have to kind of like sit down and really work a lot through this. And then I'm gonna come through the Nib-Bit and the seed bead and then go into the other hole. Again, like almost again, it's 8 o'clock and I feel like we've done sort of nothing. We just played with a little bit, and there is still so much more we could do with this. And now, and coming through, I went through the wrong hole there, so I'm gonna come through there and just sort of pull it in. Oh bless her, she's up now. So I'm gonna get her out in a second, and you can all see Missy. I keep calling her Missy and Puppy. might end up calling her Missy for real, because she knows that's the name she knows. So I think there's definitely something in here, and then the next unit would be sort of that way and then sort of snaking around. I think it would look really good, but I do think we need a better connection. Maybe this sort of the summer speed needs to be sort of further down. So maybe instead of having these 2, we just need 1, so they're kind of like closer together. So last unit, this last unit would be the turning one and not an extra one, so there wouldn't be sort of big S gaps in between them. Good evening, Mina. Nice to see you here. Love the idea of the Nib-Bit standing a bit. I absolutely, and actually, she's up now. I'm going to have a go at this very, very quickly. I think if we did it around a cabochon, because the cabochons are a round shape, that would look really good. So if I go into this cabochon very, very quickly, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead, I'm going to pick up a Nib-Bit, seed bead, Nib-Bit, seed bead, and then go through the same hole, and I'm just going to see how much this is going to pull around it. That's probably fine. Maybe wanted, no, I think that will be fine. Then I'm going to come through the other hole. I'm going to pick up a seed bead, Nib-Bit, seed bead, Nib-Bit, seed bead, come through this hole again, and then I'm going to go into the seed bead, Nib-Bit. I'm still on the inner hole, the smaller hole, and I'm going to add an extra Nib-Bit in between the seed beads. I don't know if you can hear her chewing. She's got like a little toy bone in there, and she's biting on that one. I can hear her. So I'm pulling that nice and tight. Again, I'm going to pick up another one and then go through the seed bead. I'm going to have to turn around. Now, if I added a bigger one, I'll just pop this down and have a look. If I added a bigger seed beads on the outer edge, then it would kind of like sit down. But again, I think this needs working because we don't need the seed bead once we're coming out. I think we just need the Nib-Bit, seed bead, Nib-Bit, and then the other thing on the other side. But just sort of working out purposes, if I go and turn around in one of the Nib-Bits, and now I pick up a seed bead the same size in between, it will pull the Nib-Bits up. And I think that would make such a little, kind of like a daisy flower pattern. I love when they are flat, but I do love when beads like this in a little bit of an angle, because it just gives that little bit more depth to it. So like they cup up around the bead itself. So I think that would look really good as well. Perhaps we still would need to go up to size 8, but I think we can I'm just going to go around this and have a little look-sees. How's it going to look like once we get all the way around. There we go. I'm pulling up. And then we could have another unit, sort of, we would have to work out how we can turn them into go into the next unit, how we would be sort of adding them together. But I think that would be a very pretty pattern around a cabochon as well. Kitti, your puppy must be keeping you busy. Absolutely, she does. But she's such a cutie. She's such a chilled out dog so far. She's so good. Like I've taken her out and we were walking around the garden because obviously she hasn't had her second vaccine, so she's not really allowed for a walk. So we were walking around the garden properly from about 11 to 11:15, and then had played with her a little bit, and then from like 11:30 she was sleeping right next to me until about 4 o'clock in her little bed. She wasn't in the crate then, she was in her little doggy bed. Right, let me get her out, and then you lot can all see her. So we had a little play. I do really like this idea because I think it looks really nice them close together. So I am going to have a play with this, but I think I'm going to make the unit smaller and add either smaller pearl or add something else in between, because I just like it. I would like it a little bit flatter. So that's what we have been playing tonight. I'm definitely going to play with this more. Right, are you ready to come out, Missy? So everybody can see you. Right, let me turn the main camera around so you can meet Missy. This is her. She's so lovely. She's really, really lovely. Very, very loving. All she wants is just cuddles, and sort of she wants to be next to you. And when I'm in the kitchen, I let her loose, and then she just kind of like follows me everywhere around. But got a very lovely temperament to her. Quite calm. Yes, you are, aren't you? Yes, you are. So thank you very much for watching me tonight. I'm gonna go and take her out for a little bit now. I'm gonna go for little walkies, and Michelle saying loving all the vibration, gorgeous girl. Yeah, I do. She's gorgeous. She's such a good puppy. Really good puppy so far. Touch wood. Quickly, let's touch the table. And I am trying. No, you're not going on the table. I'm trying to, because we got beads on there, and I am trying to train her. Try my best. Probably it's like having a child, isn't it? Like you don't know. You just try different things, and different things work for different puppies as different children. But she's really good. I'm really enjoying having her, although I only had for 2 days. But I think you need a bit of water, Missy. So everybody, thank you very much for watching me tonight. I'll be back on Totally at 10 on Friday, because I had to swap with Natalie because she's out. And yeah, so I will see you at 10 a.m. on Totally Beads on Friday morning, with this little one hopefully in her crate, and quiet. Well, everybody, have a beautiful evening, and I see you very, very soon. Bye everybody. Bye.